Hey, what's up? I'm Brian from Rig Time.
I'm Mark from Rig Time.
I'm Rebecca from Rig Time.
And I'm Q from the Obnoxious Boot.
These are some crazy tour stories that we ran into.
I would say our craziest tour story was when we played in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, which is pretty close to where we're from. We're from La Crosse. And, you know, we'd played there before, but never, it was like a house venue, and we were just kind of used to playing like proper venues there.
Yeah.
So we got there, and there were these, just, you know, these punk guys, this punk house, just sitting around drinking, and we were like, okay, whatever. And they were just all like, are you guys here for the show? And we were like, yeah, we have the band, you know, we're a band. And they're like, oh, I think there's 4 bands.
Yeah, they first they thought we were from like out east or something, yeah. And throughout the night they ended up saying that we were from 3 different locations. And so when we get there though, we find out that there's no electricity at this house. And again, these guys didn't really know what was going on. They didn't know how many bands there were. They kept saying there was another band playing that was never on the show. And
weren't they leaving that night
yeah,
to go?
and this was their last night in this house. So
yeah.
Basically what happened was the guy told us, he's like, yeah, I don't know how we're going to have the show because we don't have any electricity.
But they said, don't worry.
But don't worry, we got it.
We've done this before.
So yeah, we've done this before. So one of the guys was begging somebody to give him a ride to the pawn shop, and so they had to go pawn something off so then they could get a saw. They came back with a saw, and we have video of it. They ended up sawing off the lock that was on the electricity box,
yeah.
and just sparks everywhere. Well, using the neighbor's electricity
yeah. It was crazy.
to plug it in, and then they flipped it off. They're like, all right, show's going on. And then what happened was basically as the night went on, some other super crazy stuff happened, but they were moving out of this house, and they insisted that the house get completely wrecked.
It was crazy.
So during our set, the ceiling tiles came out, the like studs like in the walls got ripped out, there was nails everywhere, they smashed mirrors. It just looked like there was a tornado coming through, which is even crazier.
Because there
actually was a tornado about like 10 miles from the house. There was like a severe like thunderstorm warning and tornadoes like hitting the ground and everything. And basically
they threw stuff through the windows.
Yeah.
Like there was a big safe that was thrown through the windows.
Yeah, they threw the safe. And at the end of the night, there was a guy who was so drunk, he just flat out just fell down.
Face
and
on the concrete.
So they made everyone leave so they could call the ambulance and get out of there before the ambulance arrived.
Yeah.
So that's probably the craziest thing that we've dealt with so far.
Yeah.
The Obnoxious Boot crazy tour story doesn't really happen yet because I haven't been on tour with this band, but in a previous band, we played a house show close to home. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, so we played a house show in Dayton, Ohio, where it was a Christmas house show, and it was also the last day in this house. And when we got there, we found out that people that were living at the house were literally giving each other wrapped up shit for Christmas, and ended up finding out like the PA speakers were like set up on empty beer kegs, and it was just a hell of a good time until people started moving around and having fun and going through floorboards and going through vents, and then somebody found like a 10-pound bag of flour and started waving it around. And I think the microphone went out like the first song in, and the PA just completely blew. And I mean, it was a great time, but I think it's the only time I've ever soberly tripped upstairs and then fallen through stairs into a basement.